Hey guys, how is everybody doing? This is the first ranking of the Halloween planned rankings that I have planned. You're going to be getting, so this video is going to be me ranking all 12 of the Michael Myers actors. Yes, 12. I'm going to be including the three kid actors that play him. I'm going to be including the guy that played Michael Myers in the flashback in Halloween Kills, and then all the main actors in the Halloween franchise. And I also have two other planned Halloween rankings. You'll be seeing them very soon. Possibly you'll see them both tomorrow. I think you might end up seeing one on Halloween, but we don't know. I don't know. We just have to see what my plan is and how my schedule works and what the future holds for me. But anyways, this is my own personal ranking of all these Michael Myers actors. This is not a definitive list. This is just my list. How about you leave me your list in the comments below? So the way I'm gonna be ranking them is by the look of the Michael Myers, the way they portray them, the mask, and how brutal their kills are. That's how I'm going to be ranking these Michael Myers. So, with that all out of the way, here's my ranking of all Michael Myers actors ranked from worst to best. Coming in at number 12, and one more thing before I say this person's name, I might get a lot of these names wrong, so please forgive me if I say their names wrong. I'm really bad with names, so please forgive me. But coming in at number 12 is going to be Brad Larry, the guy who plays Michael Myers in Halloween Resurrection. Now, in my review, I did say I like this Michael Myers. There's nothing that's bad about this Michael Myers. It's just the way they treat Michael Myers. The way that they treat this guy is to where he gets cursed out by Busta Rhymes, basically calling him a little bitch, saying that telling him to go do this, get the hell out of here. And then they just treat, and then he's getting electrified in the balls, saying and Busta Rhymes saying trick or treat motherfucker to him. Like, this Michael Myers is treated like a complete bitch. Like, this does not feel like Michael Myers. He's not really scary. His kills are brutal. I will admit that they're pretty brutal. And I don't mind the mask. The mask is fine. What ruins it is that the eyebrows, you can really see them, and that they just use mascara to make his eyes black, which I thought was a horrible move to make. There's nothing really horrible about this Michael Myers. It's just that he's just treated like a complete bitch. It's mostly because of Buster Rhymes. And I honestly feel he would be much higher if he just wasn't a pussy. And at number 11 is Don Shanks from Halloween 5, the revenge of Michael Myers. I almost said the return, but that's Halloween 4. Don Shanks is fine as Michael Myers, but the reason he's this low is that he just brings nothing to the character that we just didn't see from the other three times that we saw Michael Myers. To where he brings nothing to the character, to where he moves too slowly, to where he's literally just moving like this. That's how fast he moves. He moves so slow. The mask, I don't think it's as bad or worse than the Halloween 4 mask, but the neck is too long. You can definitely tell that they tried to replace the nose because somebody said that the nose looked stupid, or they didn't like how the nose looked on the mask, which is weird. And so they had to replace the nose. Just this Don Shanks just brings nothing to the character. Nothing against the actor. I've actually seen a lot of interviews with the guy, and he seems like he's a pretty cool dude. He seems like he's a really chill dude. But this is also the Michael Myers where we're introduced to the Cult of Thorns. Oh yeah, and apparently you're able to the cops just let Michael Myers sit in a jail cell with chains on to keep his mask on. Don't you think Michael Myers would be trying to break out because he's just sitting there playing with his chains, just sitting there and accepting his fate? No, you know what Michael Myers would be doing? He would try to get his ass out of there, strangling a guard and grabbing the keys. That's what he should have been doing. Nope, he's just sitting there on his knees, just playing with his chains, just waiting for the man in black to come. Just that is not Michael Myers. And at number 10 is Chase Wright Vanic. This is the Michael Myers kid in the remake of Halloween 2. He got the guy who played him in the remake of Halloween. He got recasted because apparently he grew too much. He got older basically, so they had to recast him for the sequel that came out 2 years later, which I'm actually a big defender on. Sue me. He's fine. We just don't really get to see him much. He's just, what really is the issue with him is that he just stands there the entire time. Like, he only has like a few lines of dialogue, mainly when we see him in the opening of Halloween 2 when we see the white horse and stuff like that. He doesn't really have any lines of dialogue. He just stands there and just stare at Tyler Mane or his mom just going, that's all he does. Nothing against him. We just barely get to see him, and he's just staring off in space. And number 9 is the kid that played him before he got recasted, and that is Dick Fierk from the remake of Halloween, which was he was Michael Myers in the first half of the remake of Halloween, the origins part. He's pretty. I think he's fine. He's a little too whiny throughout the entire film, to where he's screaming, whining, saying "fuck you" to people and all that, to where he just seems like an asshole, and to where I'm supposed to like Michael Myers, not this whiny brat, dude. Like he's fine. He's just a little too whiny. He has long hair. Like I noticed this too, rewatching Rob Zombie's Halloween. Not every dude needs to have long hair and a beard in your movie, dude. Get a fucking haircut. I did. It's actually nice. I like it. Yeah, he's just too whiny for a Michael Myers. He's brutal in certain scenes. I do like the part where he tapes up his drunk stepdad and then just cuts his throat open. That's a really cool scene. And then especially the scene where he puts on the mask, the Michael Myers mask for the first time and kills Judith, which I thought was a pretty creepy scene, but also is a little funny. Those he shines in those moments. He's pretty good, especially for a kid actor. He's not bad. He's just a little too whiny. And at number 8 is the original Michael Myers kid actor, and that is Will Sadden, I believe you say his name. We just don't get to see much of him. Again, I might sound like a broken record, but we just don't get to see him. He's the kid that has like the clown mask. We see him in the first person point of view, where in the opening of Halloween, which is like a continuous shot. Well, you can see the cuts if you look for him in the original film. Where we see him for like a brief second, but what's my the reason he's my favorite out of the three kid actors is because he is part of that iconic opening of Halloween, and he is the guy that killed his own. He is the kid that was the man that killed Judith Myers, so that was pretty cool. Especially the whole scene where his parents take off the mask and he's just standing there with the knife, just like staring off, like I just did that, like kind of processing that he just murdered somebody. At the same time, he's just like, I kind of want to do that again. That was pretty cool. Yeah, he's my favorite out of the kid actors, but we just don't get to see him except for that like one shot, which took forever to end. And number 7 is Chris Saran from Halloween H2O. Now, I feel this guy gets a lot of slack for being a Michael Myers actor. A lot of Halloween fans seem not to like this Michael Myers, but I have become a big fan of Halloween H2O over the last year. And I don't think he's bad. I honestly feel that he has his times to shine. I hate that mask. It's just embarrassing. All masks, especially. It's just embarrassing. That's just the mask that he was given with. And this was also the movie to where I feel that Halloween H2O isn't beloved by fans is because that's the scream of the Halloween franchise. But I do think his take on him is pretty good. I do think he has pretty memorable moments, like when he recreates the Halloween 2 nurse scene where he lifts the nurse up in the air, where he stabs Laurie's douchebag boyfriend. He's just holding them up with his knife and all that. I thought that was a really cool scene. And the dumbwaiter scene where he cuts the rope and the dumbwaiter comes down, breaks the girl's leg. Those are great parts of the movie. It's mostly just his mask, and some of his movements are a little bit awkward too, but other than that, he's a great Michael Myers. And at number 6, or is it 5? I can't remember. I lost count because I have horrible memory. And that is Dick Warlock, the guy who played him in Halloween, the original Halloween 2. Dick Warlock, he's an iconic Michael Myers for a good reason too. The mask, it's cool, I guess, but it's just the same mask from the original Halloween. It's just a little bit more beat up, and especially since Dick Warlock's head is wider, it just fit different on his head, which I'm fine. He's a great Michael, especially some of the kills where he lifts the nurse up into the air and all that, especially the hot tub scene where he's just dunking the girl over and over, and especially when her face just starts to like peel off, which was a great little scene. What I just don't like about this Michael Myers is his movements, to where he literally looks like a robot, to where he's just walking, just doing this. And then there's a part where he goes through a glass window through the hospital, breaks through it, and it just goes, brrr, and then he just keeps going. Like, there's like no movement to where it's just a robot. But yet again, Dick Warlock is a stuntman. He was a stuntman for the longest time before he did Halloween 2. I don't blame his movements. It's not really his fault. He doesn't. I don't think he really had any experiences with acting at the time, but he's a great actor, and I honestly do like him. One is number five. I'm sorry, I lost count there. Number five is Aaron Armstrong. Aaron Armstrong is the dude that played Michael Myers in the flashback scene in Halloween Kills, which is probably my one of my favorite parts of that entire movie, and probably one of the best openings for the franchise. And I honestly didn't know it was a different actor for the longest time until I watched other YouTubers make videos and stuff like that. I watched behind the scenes. This guy was perfect. If you ask me, this guy was nearly perfect. Excuse me. I love what this guy did. He was a fantastic Michael, to where they kind of brought it kind of felt like that they made Nick Castle young again, put him in that iconic costume, and told him to be Michael Myers again. That is how good that this guy does. He's a great Michael Myers, to where his movements were on point. I love that mask, to where they recreated the original 1978 Michael Myers mask perfectly, if you ask me. Especially since he keeps that, like, instead of like the other sequels and the other Halloween franchises, to where they just became really gory, more bloody. This opening scene with Aaron Armstrong's Michael kept that more suspense Michael in a way, to where, especially like when he attacks the cop and he's just strangling him with the rope and all that, to where it just didn't feel like he was like murdering him as hard as like the other Halloween movies are. It's just keep like he was just strangling him, like from the original Halloween 1978 film. That is how good this guy is, to where it felt like he was the original Michael Myers. And if they decide, and I know they're going to reboot this franchise again. Let's all admit it, they're gonna do it. If they if they do reboot the franchise again, bring back this guy to play Michael Myers, because he was fucking awesome. And number four is George P. Wilbur, the man that played Michael Myers in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and my least favorite, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. George P. Wilbur is awesome as Michael Myers. I honestly think he's one of the most iconic, if not the most iconic, because he was the first man to play Michael Myers more than once. I love him in Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. That's when they got him right, especially with the mask. The kills were awesome. His movements were great. The lighting on him I thought was great. But what brings him back from, like, I don't know, top 2 material is that they kind of fuck him up in Halloween 4, because that mask, uh, it pains me, but and especially when you rewatch it, apparently they want to make Michael more buff for some reason. They put like football pads or hockey pads on him, and over, like, under the overalls and stuff. He looks stupid. He looks stupid, to where he just literally looks like this. And then when he turns, he has to turn his whole body like like Batman from the original movies. He has to do this. I'm gonna kill you now. Like, they got him right in Halloween 6. That's great. But Halloween 4, they just messed him up. Other than that, George P. Wilbur is the fucking shit. And at number 3 is Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, Tyler Mane. This is a scary son of a bitch. This guy is terrifying, to where I honestly like what Rob Zombie did with this guy. Like, instead of Michael Myers being like this immortal type demon thing or whatever keeps him from dying, instead of that, he's just tough. He's a tough motherfucker. I like that. I love how Michael is so tall to where it makes him look creepy. I love the deformed mask and a lot of people didn't like it. But then when Halloween 2018 came out, everybody loved it. Why? Because people apparently just hate this remake. But the mask is cool. Admit it. And especially, I think this might be the scariest Michael Myers. I'm just gonna say it because if I was put in a room with all the Michael Myerses out there, I would not want to be in a room with just him because he is terrifying. I love what they do with him in both films. They do screw him over in Halloween 2 with the mask in the remake of Halloween 2 because it's like ripped off a little bit. I don't like that they did that with it. But it's really they make him shine throughout the first remake. I think he has the time to shine in that one. I really love what they do with him in Halloween 2. I think Halloween 2 might be probably the scariest Michael Myers. Like, not just Tyler Mane, but the Michael Myers in the remake of Halloween 2 is terrifying. Like, a lot of people don't like that he grunts when he stabs people, but I didn't like mind it. I honestly thought it was creepier and more scary and stuff. And I also like how he only put on the mask when he kills in Halloween 2. Like, if you cannot tell already, I'm a big defender on Halloween 2. On the remake of Halloween 2. I don't understand why I get so much hate. I like it. But yeah, Tyler Mane, he's a scary son of a bitch. Top two. Okay. This one might get me in trouble. My top two have always gone back and forth. Maybe by the time we get another Michael Myers actor, maybe these two will flip flop. But my number two is going to be the original Nick Castle, the OG Michael Myers. Dick Castle is fantastic as Michael Myers. This was the first Michael Myers that we ever got to where we really got to see what the shape is. We really got to see what he is, like what we expect from him in the future. Nick Castle did a fantastic job with him, especially since he's always like creeping in the shadows. We barely even get to see the face of Michael Myers throughout this movie because it's more about suspense and how I love how Michael Myers always hides in the dark in this movie. He's always hiding in the shadows to where you can never see him and all that. And he always stalks you, and like how especially Bob's kill when he just lifts him up and stabs him. And like when how he you get that childlike psychiatry where he puts Annie on the bed and then puts Judith Meyer's gravestone right behind her head and all that, and then you get like Bob swinging down and all that. Nick Castle is fantastic as Michael Myers. He was the original Michael Myers. I love what this guy did with him. There's nothing negative I can say towards this guy. It's what else do you need to know? This guy's fucking awesome. And at number one is the first man to ever play Michael Myers more than 3 times as of right now. And that is James Jude Courtney. This is the man that played Michael Myers in the new Halloween trilogy with Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and a little bit of Halloween Ends. What he's given in Halloween Ends, he is still great. I love what they do with him in Halloween 2018. He has some of the best scenes in the entire franchise with those movies, and especially in Halloween Kills, when you got that childlike psychiatry again, like that they did in the original Halloween, to where he's just grabbing knives and like you don't even know what he's doing. Like I don't understand. I still to this day, 2 years later, I don't understand what he's doing here to where he like that black chick and all that. He stabs her in the neck with the light bulb and grabs her husband, and he's just grabbing knives and stabbing him in the back. And he grabs another knife, stabs him back, kind of looks at him a little bit, turns, grabs another knife and stabs him. And you're like, what is he doing? Is he trying to see which knife works better? Is he trying to see which one has a deeper cut into it? Is he just trying to see how many knives this guy can take until he's finally dead? Like, what is he doing here? And like, to me, that shit's terrifying. And especially the scene in Halloween Kills with both Little John and Big John, to where he kills them and then he recreates one of their pictures by putting one of them up and having one of them lay on their lap, and he plays a little record for them. And like, the picture that they have in like their room is an exact replica that he just made out of their corpses. Like, just that in general is terrifying. There's nothing negative I can say towards James Jude Courtney. He is fantastic as Michael Myers. He's so creepy. He's awesome to where they keep that original like they keep that childlike psychiatry with him, but also making him creepy, but also one of the most brutal Michael Myerses ever. Michael Myers is even a fucking word. Good people, that is my ranking of all 12 Michael Myers actors. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, like it. If you love it, subscribe to the bell notifications so you will get notified for my latest videos. Leave me your ranking of all Michael Myers actors in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you like this video, like it. If you love it, subscribe to the bell notifications so you will get notified for my latest videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and of course, until next time, see you all next time.